Hello and welcome to PTC Cast episode 24, where I wear my headphones like this the entire episode. Not really. Today, Chris and I talk about caffeine intake and approaching your training.
Yes.
How you should approach your training from the light side or the dark side.
Bum, bum, bum.
I hope y'all enjoy the podcast. It's brought to you by ProgressThroughChange.com, where you can get your 4 Easy Habits for Fat Loss guide. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds to get downloaded. It'll change your life.
It will.
Enjoy the show.
Yes.
Because I can't, I don't know. I don't want to.
No,
Whoa.
Shit. Oh,
Whoa.
Shit. Can't see anything
Yeah,
because of that audio meter.
I'm going to keep my sleeves on then. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull my sleeves down a little bit.
Bro, you got black to hide them.
Yeah.
See, I ain't got no triceps.
I'm nice and put away. I got no triceps.
No triceps?
No triceps, all biceps.
Bro, I've had triceps since high school.
Because you bench with your triceps, man.
Well, no, dude.
You used to really bench with your triceps.
I used to. Yeah, I used to be like this right here, but now I'm doing the
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Well, that's why your chest has changed so much in the last 6 months.
I think so, dude. And it's actually gotten smaller because I laid off of the the dumbbell bench press and stuff.
Really?
I'm really excited to finish up with this meet and go for a more aesthetic look.
Bodybuilding look.
Yeah, some bodybuilding shit, bro. I'm actually really excited for that. Just because, I don't know, I've never really done that. Mm-hmm. You know, in high school, it was fun doing. Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. In high school, it was fun doing working out with my friends and stuff, but we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yeah, you're just kind of hitting the weight room and getting after it.
We're doing the easy curl, bicep curls.
Yeah, dude, I used to be bench and curls every day, man.
Hell yeah,
man! My
dude.
first year and a half of having a gym membership, it was literally just bench and curls 5 days a week.
Bench and curls,
I do
dude.
some push downs and some lateral raises too. But,
Dude, lateral raises are these, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I asked that.
You know that.
But dude, those are amazing because it just gives you a 3D look.
That shoulder
and
bump.
you're just looking all swole, but then an hour or two it just leaves.
Yeah, man, I was gonna say, I guess as a power lifter, your lateral raise is not super important.
I do them though.
Yeah.
I guess for blood flow and honestly, just to keep my shoulders healthy.
Yeah.
I have to. If I have any pain in my shoulders, then that immediately affects my bench, even if it.
Yeah.
Isn't physical and it's all mental, it's there.
Lateral raises are in everybody's program to some extent, whether cable or dumbbell or whatever, just because everybody likes to have that cap shoulder look.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And it's important for the health of your shoulder as well, and the way it works in synchronization with your scapula. So, yeah, that's some important stuff, I think. But
that got very sciencey.
Very sciencey.
Oh,
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Right? Yeah. But you had said you were also laying off the caffeine a little bit.
Yeah, dude. So...
As I sip my coffee.
I know, right? So for the people who, just a little catch up, last week I was just really, really anxious. And, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, dude, I was drinking, a full cup of rich coffee a day. And then on top of, 2, sometimes 3 scoops of pre-workout. No, not 3. I think the most I would do is 2.5 scoops of pre-workout.
So you're talking 5 to 750 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Not every day, but
training days.
Yeah, exactly. Training days, which was about 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And even though my sleep was good, I was just always feeling, wired and honestly kind of suffocated,
Caffeine makes
all
me
day.
anxious.
Yeah,
Too much caffeine definitely makes me anxious.
Yeah, and I didn't, I didn't think about it until now. I thought that was just normal. I thought that was me just, being focused and stuff. But yeah, right now I'm laying off of the caffeine. I know that during my workouts, I always thought that more caffeine was better. But, what I realized is when I was taking, more than 1 scoop of caffeine, what would happen is maybe for the first 30 to 45 minutes, I'd be, on point.
Yeah.
And just just wired and being invincible. But then after that, everything was just gone. And I was just oh, I have to do another set. And then, usually my workouts
it burns you out quick.
Yeah. Usually my workouts last between 2.5 to 3.5 hours, and on my heavy leg days it's 4 hours. So I need I can't be, and that's only during prep. I can't be already feeling out of energy 45 minutes in. Like, that's literally unacceptable. So,
well, I think every wave kind of comes with its peaks and valleys, right? So it's like if you're going to crank yourself up on all this caffeine, eventually you got to come right back down, man. And if you're pounding it all at once and then you're highly exerting yourself and, whatever your first 2-3 squat sets, I mean, then
that peak is fast. And then
you're essentially screwed for the rest of the workout.
Exactly, dude. One thing that did help with that was, eating a bunch of carbs before, that crash. And that was only, for training. But still, like, I now know, 200 milligrams of caffeine is more than enough for a fantastic workout. Like, even when it comes to my peaking, or my, top sets where I'm doing like three reps or 2 reps or whatever, like there's no need for more than 200 milligrams of caffeine, because all it does is just, for me at least, it gets me wired. But and then once the crash starts coming, I'm like, oh shit, am I going to be able to do this? Oh, why am I feeling this way? I should be feeling like wired as heck. This doesn't make any sense. And then you start unfocusing on what you need to be doing. So right now I'm no coffee, and I'm actually taking half a scoop of pre-workout. Today I have to squat like 775 for max reps, and I'm only going to take half a scoop. Maybe, 30 minutes before my top set, I'll take another half a scoop, but that's a big maybe.
Sure.
So
you're just kind of trying to keep a lid on it, basically.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, trying to keep yourself from overdoing it. Yeah, I've stuck with black coffee for pre-workout for a while now. Wow. For a minute there, I was using like some non-stim pre-workouts that are just like, whatever, citrulline, or they're just pump formulas or focus formulas or whatever. But no, man, I really just stick with the black coffee these days. I do a lot of beetroot powder as well, which is like a vasodilator, so it just helps with blood flow. So I try to keep my shit as really as simple as I can.
Does that make the blood vessels smaller or bigger? Bigger, right?
So blood can flow a little easier.
Okay,
yeah.
Got you.
But so that's really kind of what I've stuck with, and because I also kind of found the same thing with my pre-work when I was doing caffeinated pre-workouts, was it just left me a little too like, man, that high is great. That first like, whew, you're there. You know what I mean? Like you want to shake your face and blink a lot, and you're just like, oh, here we go. Exactly. You're like, you're just like ready to go. But man, for me, it just died so quick. Like I would get like 2 good sets, maybe, and that's it. And I just can't, like I have, 10 sets to go through in a workout or something like that. Like it just didn't work for me.
I wonder why that is, because I know that when I drink like, coffee at a coffee shop or just at home or something, that, I mean, I'm guessing the caffeine will last for, a good 4 hours. But yeah, when you take, or at least for me, and it sounds like for you, when you take a massive amount of caffeine and then you go, lift some weights, it dies off really quick.
And part of me wonders if that has to do with like synthetic or natural caffeine, right? And that could be like a bro science thing. Don't quote me on that. But part of me just wonders if like, okay, black coffee, the caffeine comes straight from a plant, so maybe it's less, modified or played with, and it's not mixed with a lot of different things too. Like in whatever pre-workouts you're taking, I'm sure it has other things aside from just caffeine in it, right? Whether it's beta-alanine or citrulline or whatever that means. But who knows? Maybe like the combination of those things could, kind of crash you down. But I truthfully think that like every peak comes with a valley.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any pre-workout that like is going to jack you up and keep you up through the whole workout unless you're just slamming it like every hour and you just don't care about your heart or your health. So I don't.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Looks like we actually ran out of memory on the memory card, but we are back and rolling now. So we were just talking about the really, really highs and what I think it was when it comes to the crashes of the caffeine. So I'm wondering if what happens is with like all the caffeine and the stimulants, we get to these really, really high levels of just performance. Our body just like running through whatever it has. Yeah. And then it gets to the point where it just has no more like immediate things to draw from. And then that's when we crash. The reason why I say that is because I noticed that whenever what I started to do was take in like 50 to 75 grams of carbohydrates about 30 minutes into my workouts. And that would actually avoid the crash.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe we just didn't have enough fuel to maintain that high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if part of that is pre-workout nutrition as well.
Is what? Pre-workout nutrition? Oh, yeah, that has to be a huge thing. But, I feel like I take in quite a bit of carbs and, pre-workout. I say quite a bit, but, I take in like 2 Eggo waffles with, I know, 2 Eggo waffles with a tablespoon of peanut butter and a tablespoon of jelly.
Okay, so you're probably good there.
Yeah, and that's like, I think 60 grams of carbs with a little bit of fats.
Yeah.
And, a little bit of proteins. But, yeah, I guess I don't know. But, just don't even, why am I looking over there? Just, we would be so much better if we just chilled on the caffeine when it comes to our workouts. We don't need to deal with all the high stress BS when we can do that by ourselves. Yeah. Without the caffeine.
I think it's kind of the same conversation to be had as like, training from an angry place versus a fun place. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it just using that, I'm going to get a little bro sciencey here, man, but using that, like that intense energy, like it comes with a cost.
It's draining.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah, it's draining. That's like the best way I can put it. And you can tell the difference after the set too. If your set comes from a place of like, all right, I'm going to fuck it up. Like I'm getting after it here. And you're, whatever, you're shaking and your head's spinning and everything. Like, and you're just ready to literally like attack. At the end of that set, you're going to feel wrecked. Yeah. I did 235 for 20 on deads earlier this week. And that was, the rest of my workout was like non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was because I did that. And I'm not saying, that's a good, bad, right, wrong thing, but I'm just saying like,
is it worth it?
Yeah. And it's just like every approach you take has some sort of like cost benefit to it, And so if I'm someone, going into a full back training session, right? And I absolutely toast myself on one set of deadlifts, like, to the bank, every single thing I have in me, like, I might be screwing the rest of the workout. And that's not optimal. That's not ideal. So it's like, how do you keep a lid on it? Well, in my opinion, it's trying to not be so angry and aggressive and caffeinated and just wired to the gills. You know what I mean? And I also have this thing too, again, a little bro sciencey, man, but think about it. Like when we get super aggressive and angry and headbangy, and I do it as much as the next guy. I'm not saying it's wrong, right, or bad or whatever, but I really think that we tie exercise to that feeling. Yeah. I feel like we actually create a negative relationship to exercise. Oh. Does that make sense?
Like a stressful relationship.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. A stressful relationship because you get yourself all wired up and anxious and you jack your heart rate up and then you slam the weights and you kill it and you get after it, but then your body's like, oh my God, I just fought a bear. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so
Let's not ever do that again.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And again, maybe that gets you whatever, the extra couple of reps, the hard set, what you wanted out of that. And that's great. But, if you approach it from a place of, maybe not even calm, but just calm or fun or relaxed or not relaxed, but
like challenging, but not with
intent. Yeah. And like for yourself. And there's just a different methodology about it, man. It's literally like the Star Wars dark side, light side thing, man. Yeah. Like there's a very important factor to be considered in how you're relating and tying exercise with your brain and your spirit, we'll call it. Does that make sense? Does that sound a little too woo-woo? What do you think?
No, dude, it does make sense. And I remember when I was inexperienced when it came to my programming, I would do exactly that. Literally every set was balls to the wall. And what would happen is I would not want to work out. Yeah, I would show up and, do the same thing over again. But it was always, like, oh, I got to put myself through 4 hours of this again. Like, I do not want to do this, but
it's just that relationship.
Yeah. And
with training.
I think the point in that is like, it's not sustainable. I was able to do that when I was big and fat because of how much I was feeding myself and how much I was sleeping. But, after I lost all the weight and I kept on trying to do that, I was passing out almost after almost every single lift. And, every set was a life or death thing. And then not only that, I wasn't able to recover for the next workout. I would go in the next workout just drained and completely sore. And it was like a cascading thing. And finally, like for this prep, I learned my lesson. I'm like, okay, let's maximize recovery. Let's maximize the fun in training, and let's actually enjoy this. And yeah, it's gonna, like, it still needs to be very challenging, but it doesn't need to be challenging to the point where you're like, I do not want to do this. It needs to be challenging to the point when you're like, okay, hell yeah, let's do this, and let's see if I can get, let's see if I can beat last week. Let's do this. Not trying to kill yourself.
Yeah, it's stepping up to the plate because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. So
now sometimes you do have to, but, and I'm not saying like you have to go balls to the wall, but sometimes like you do have to do it if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, sure.
But that shouldn't be every single time.
Yeah, it should in some regard. You have to find a way to create a relationship with exercise to where you like it.
Yeah.
And whether that comes down to exercise selection, whether that comes to time of day, frequency, length,
there's so many variables.
Environment. I mean, the gym you're at, whether you like to be at home, whatever that means, man. But like, I truthfully think that we need to create like a positive relationship with, again, our brain, our spirit, whatever that means, and training. We have to look at it through a lens of like, I understand some people, it's not going to be your favorite thing that you do all day, and that's okay. Some people, it's always going to be like a chore, a thing you have to check. But I refuse to sit here and think that there's not at least some way you can enjoy it. You literally get an endorphin rush when you finish working out, man. So we are literally created to enjoy movement to whatever extent that is and whatever that means for the individual. But it's important that we make it a positive relationship.
Yeah, nourish that positivity instead of, fighting against it.
And making it like this. Again, there's nothing wrong with attacking the bar and being aggressive, but from the standpoint of working yourself up and loading up the caffeine and slamming the pre-workouts and, blasting the screamo music in your ears. You know what I mean? Like there's a fine line to all of it that you have to learn how to walk on to be successful long term.
Yeah.
Like if you got to pull that energy for your deadlift sets, great, go for it. But if you got to pull that energy for your prep work or your curls or what I mean, like you're really killing yourself, man. You're really making it harder than it needs to be, Yeah,
and
so
I know the times where I've injured myself were the times where I put an unnecessary amount of energy into the lifts, and my form would break down and I'd just be lifting like a freaking psychopath, and I could have gotten so much more gains and prevented months of recovery time if I had just chilled out a little bit and just done it right, and like you said, just had fun with it, and not I don't know, this is kind of like it's like a very fine line. Like you need it to be challenging and
especially
hard to do, but
especially when you're someone like you and I who it's more than just a hobby. It's part of who you are and what you do, because then you can really kill yourself with some of the hard, the hard sets, the aggressive sets, the pounding the caffeine, things like that. So if you're someone who, is really deep in this, is trying to get big, is trying to get strong, and you're training whatever, 6 days a week, like you just have to be mindful of those things,
Yeah, and
you got to be mindful of them.
I always forget about like, the regular Joe, like, if you're the regular Joe, have fun with it, man. Maybe you don't have to lift weights. Maybe you can do, other things, but find, like Alex was saying, like you can choose exercise selection, you can choose time of day. Like there's so many things that you can, choose to make it more enjoyable and still get, massive amounts of progress out of it.
Yeah.
So,
Bart Kwan of Barbell Brigade.
Yeah.
I've been following them since before they opened their first gym, which has been a ridiculous amount of years now. Like, because he was one of my first fitness people to follow, because I used to watch their comedy stuff, like before he was even putting out fitness stuff. But anyways, he made a post, gosh, man, it's been years now. And it's just one of those things that really like resonated with me and stuck with me that I like remember reading perfectly. But it was a video of him benching, and I think he was going for 315 for whatever, a couple reps or something like that. And before his set, man, like he was just fucking like dancing, and he was like shaking his head, and he was just like being silly and singing whatever song. And then he got on the bench, he hit his set, and he got up, and then he was doing the same thing again. You know what I mean? And so it was interesting to me that he would like, and in the caption, it was just something like he liked to be like silly and like enjoy it and like essentially just be himself and, try to love the process, but then set comes, let's turn it on. Set's done, let's turn it off.
Yeah, you got to learn how to flip that
yeah,
switch
exactly.
and be able to focus. Because that's all it is at the end of the day is just...
It's focus and how are you getting that focus?
Yeah, exactly. You know? And like George Lehman, Eric Lillybridge, those are two of like, you know, my favorite...
Those are some OG powerlifters.
Yeah, those are two of, you know, some of my favorite powerlifters, and they talk about that, and, you know, you can see it in their videos. They're chilling in between their sets. They're not, you know, they're not freaking...
Yeah.
You know, with their headphones and just...
Yeah.
No, like, they're talking, they're having fun, you know, they're rolling their legs out, they're just...
Yeah.
But then, you know, whenever it's time to go, well, okay, you know, they flip that switch, and the cool thing about that is you're not wasting all of that energy in between those sets for the, like, you know, the stuff that isn't important.
Yeah. And it's just lifting weights. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, it's just lifting weights, man. Like,
yeah, man. I always thought that I had to have that switch, you know, turned on the whole time. But
me too.
Yeah, whenever you have that, it's just... It's kind of like unproductive because then when you start feeling like you're unfocused, you're like, oh shit, I gotta focus. And you're like, oh, why am I not focused? And then you're like,
and then you're just like,
maybe if I shake my hand, get some adrenaline.
And then I put on this new Screamo song and I turn my headphones up all the way and I give a dirty look to every single person in the gym. Like,
bro,
it's like that's not how you want to function, man. That's not how you're gonna get there long term.
And then once you stop fighting that train and you just start, you know, being yourself and just having fun, but then you know, flipping that switch when you need to, like. It's so much less stressful, and you're able to focus a lot more whenever it's time to focus, or at least I feel like.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Stay off of the caffeine because you just don't need it. You know, you can use your brain for a lot of these things, you know, and I don't know, it's almost like just question why you're doing the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I know when it comes to like pre-workout, and, you know, some of the supplements that I used to take, it was because, you know, people that I watched on YouTube or whatever was taking them. So I was like, oh, okay, I need to do that. And that's the same with, you know, the amounts that I would take. Like for my pre-workout, there's this powerlifter named Ray Williams. He talks about whenever he has to do a insanely heavy squat that he takes 3 scoops of pre-workout. And, you know, he's like 460 pounds. So, you know, maybe 3 scoops is good for him, but who am I at, you know, 237 pounds to be taking 3 scoops, like 600, almost 700 milligrams of caffeine? Like, I'm going to be freaking trying to sleep at night, like,
like feeling your heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like that.
Exactly.
Heck no, man.
Yeah.
And
I've also always just had this thing too where, you know, maybe crutch is the wrong word, but like, I've never wanted to feel like I have to rely on anything for my session to be good.
That's a very good point, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know, I like I said, I'll take some black coffee pre-workout, whatever. So yeah, you can sit here and nitpick and say that that's that. But you know, my point is like, I feel like if I don't have this crazy concoction of pre-workout and pre-workout meals and a certain sodium intake and carbohydrate pre-training, like. Yeah. You know, it's one thing if you're a top tier athlete or something like that, but it's another thing if you're an average Joe. Like that should not be the determinant. And a lot of the times we start to think it is. Like I know a lot of people will get in their head and think like, oh, my session's going to suck because I didn't get the perfect pre-workout meal or because I ran out of my pre-workout and I only had a quarter scoop instead of a full scoop. Like it's just, it seems silly to me. Like at the end of the day, you're the one driving the boat, man. You don't get to create an excuse around a pre-workout. You don't get to create an excuse around supplementation or anything like that. Like, sure, is it going to help you with a pump or help you feel more awake and alert? Yeah, maybe. But like, at the end of the day, like your effort should be the same.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. At the end of the day, your effort should be the same.
Yeah.
And I know like one of the assumptions that I always had was I can't lift heavy unless it's the evening. Just because, you know, I have all my calories you know, for the evening. But and then like Skylar Brandt and a couple other powerlifters, like, you know, they'll lift early as hell in the morning or like literally at, you know, 12 a.m. at night. Yeah. And that kind of, you know, showed me, well, hey, it really doesn't matter the time of day. It's just...
It's a routine.
You know, you have to go in and... Yeah, that's true. You know, if you're the person that works out in the mornings, then, you know, your morning workouts would probably be better.
Oh, yeah. Some of my best training sessions are fasted. Some of my best.
Yeah.
Fasted. 235 for 20 was fasted.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel pretty good on an empty stomach first thing in the morning.
That's crazy. I know when I'm like running and doing cardio and stuff, then I really like doing fasted cardio.
Yeah.
That just feels good.
Yeah, and I don't know. That might be a bro sciencey thing too. I don't know if we really have a ton of research on that, but I know that when I was prepping for this last show, I was doing an hour of cardio every day, and most days it was fasted first thing in the morning. Yeah. And it just feels good. Just feels good, especially if I would take some beetroot powder then, just to like really get the blood flowing. Like I would end up with like some gnarly quad veins and stuff. Like it was a good feeling.
Bro, quad veins are pretty cool, man.
I agree. Yeah, that's when I start to feel like I'm really actually getting lean. Is when I can see some veins in my quads.
Bro, I have some veins in my left quad, some in my right, but mostly in my left. And after my leg day, dude, they're just flowing through my legs, bro. And I'll make sure to walk around with my my sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
dude. Since I lost the 10 pounds, I actually have legs going down or veins going down my calves now.
Wow.
Yeah, dang, dude.
Man, that's crazy.
So I don't know if they're here right now, but after I ate my 2 lunches yesterday, it was just that's just all carbs and beef. And
I'm gonna be honest,
sodium.
man. I think I've trained legs once in like the last month and a half, maybe. Dang. Now I'm doing deads twice a week, but I'm talking about like, dedicated leg training. I've done probably 1 solid leg session in the last month and a half.
Why?
It's just nowhere near my top priority, man.
Oh.
I've done 3 shows. My legs were too big at every single one of them. So,
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so really it's just because I'm trying to bring everything else up to speed. But I do really enjoy, but I really do enjoy training legs. So
yeah, dude, legs just feels so good to train. Dude, I can't wait till, after I'm done with the powerlifting thing and, I get to just have fun training again. Yeah. I am having fun right now, but still it's almost like I can't do cardio. Like I can't be running and stuff. I can't do like. You
should be doing some kind of cardio. You should be running.
I do walks.
Yeah, I was going to say, just keep walking, man. Yeah, but don't be fucking running or anything.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but like I want to run, dude.
Dude, it's funny you say that. Running I've found, has been more detrimental for most of my clients than it has.
Is it all the joints and stuff?
Yeah, always.
I believe it, bro.
Always. Yeah, it's like, well, my back hurts and my knee hurts, and it's like, well, it didn't hurt last week. What'd you do? Well, I ran 3 miles yesterday. When was the last time you ran? 10 years ago.
That's what I was about to say. That's the big problem.
What?
Yeah. Like people they just go all into things that they're not used to doing, and it's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah. But anyways. So but nah, man. When you're done with this meet, we should link up and do some coaching.
Yeah, dude, I want to, and then I want to do like a recomp.
That's what we should do.
I don't know. People say a recomp. I don't even exactly know what that means, but I'm gonna do it.
That'd be awesome. Do some good PTC marketing. That'd be great.
Yeah, bro. Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's wrap this one up.
All right.
Thanks for listening.